Peggy 18.
Hey everybody, I'm Gabe Graziani, your community developer on Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I'm here at E3 conducting an interview with our associate producer, JF Boivin.
Hello.
And our creative director on the multiplayer, Stéphane Baudet.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me, gentlemen.
My pleasure.
So we've collected some questions from the community. And the first one, the key thing that people want to know, is where does Assassin's Creed Brotherhood pick up after Assassin's Creed 2?
Oh, it picks up right after the events of Assassin's Creed 2. At the end of Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio goes head-to-head with Rodrigo Borgia. That brings him back to the Villa Auditore, so his family villa, at which point he sort of takes a quick break following the events. And meanwhile, the Borgia are setting up a counterattack, a very huge counterattack, and that will bring him to Rome, to the center of the Borgia influence.
Now, we've heard a lot about the Brotherhood. Ezio is going to be amassing an army of assassins, a group of assassins to help fight him. And our community was curious to know how much differentiation are we going to see among those assassins? Are they going to be different specifically, or will they be more generic?
The entire Assassin's Brotherhood part, but there's the entire Assassin's Creed is also Desmond's story, so it's also that part of what's happening right now or in the very early future, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But like I said, Ezio is going to be forced to go to Rome, the center of the Borgia influence, of power and corruption, and he goes there, and Rome is decrepit. The people are starving, and there are guards everywhere, and he can't basically do it all by himself. So he'll be in sort of a safe citizen type of manner. He'll be recruiting assassins and sending them out on missions to train them. So they're very easy missions at the very beginning, and they go up to very difficult missions, and all historically set. So, for example, you have a Vasco da Gama mission, and then when they come back, they get experience points, which you'll be able to spend uniquely on each assassin. But there's this entire part of, meanwhile.
Meanwhile, at Abstergo, while Ezio is building his Brotherhood, the war between the assassins and the Templar is reaching new heights. And so the Templar are recruiting new subjects to be trained to the art of the assassins as well. So the idea around that, I don't know if you remember, but during AC2, when you were escaping from Abstergo Industries, you've seen that huge room with all what we call the animi, which is the plural for animus. This is where they are training their new subjects, and that's where the story is for the multiplayer parts.
Okay. Now, are we going to see any changes in the combat system?
Oh yeah, very much so. That's one of the things that came up a lot from our fans. And AC2 was all about diversity and whatnot, and we got that pretty much down pat. People like the diversity as opposed to AC1. One thing that came out a lot from the fans was, well, Kelly, the fight system is a bit sort of slow paced. It's a bit a question of waiting, and it was a bit more defensive oriented. And now we wanted to reward those who strike first, strike fast, those who actually are very offensive. So you have a lot more combo. It's a lot more visceral. It's a lot more fast paced. If you do a combo move or counter kill in AC2, you couldn't get that interrupted. It was like a one shot, one kill guaranteed. This time around, you will be able to be attacked from the back. And as you'll see in the demo, I think we kill like 20 people in 25 seconds or something crazy like that. So it's a lot more fast paced. We wanted to reward those who are really good with their technique of fighting.
Cool. Now, of course, the biggest question on our community's mind is, since we put up the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood website with all the weapons and things, they're very curious about what kind of new weapons and devices we'll see in the next game. Can you give us any information on that?
Sure. There's a bunch of new stuff. Obviously, we're in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is a full single-player game and has full multiplayer component to it. So we wanted to add that all that new stuff. And one of these things are the exotic gameplay elements. So last time around we had the flying machine. This time around we have the cannon gameplay, and that's just one example of the different machinery that you'll be able to use. And there's a lot of environmental things that we've added as well.
Tools, yes. Tools like the lift lift to basically to reach the roofs quicker, because the pace of the multiplayer was so intense that we definitely needed something to go quickly on the roofs and to go very fast to cope with the pace of the game. And we wanted, just like Ezio, to have like a certain personality for each character. So we've made like handcrafted weapon specific to each multiplayer character.
And it's also good to hear that Leo is back. I'm sure that a lot of our fans are going to be very excited to know Leonardo's
and it's a really cool twist what happens with Leo this time around. So stay tuned for more to come.
Well, great. Thank you very much for joining me today, gentlemen.
It's my
You're
pleasure.
welcome.
It's
Our
been
pleasure.
a fantastic interview. You answered so many questions.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.